If I gave you $10,000 today, some people would turn it into $100,000. Others would lose it within months. And the crazy thing is, this doesn't happen randomly. Same money, same country, same opportunities. But here's what's real right now in Canada. More than half of Canadians are worried about rising grocery prices, and many are increasingly relying on credit to just get food on the table. Recent surveys show over 50% of households between ages 30 and 60 have used credit, buy now, pay later, or payday loans to buy groceries in the last 6 months, and nearly half have delayed bills just to afford essentials. That tells you something deeper is going on. This isn't just about money. It's about how we think about money. And once you see this truth, you can't unsee it. My name is Sai, and I spend way too much time analyzing housing data, interest rates, and how money really works in Canada, so you don't have to. And one thing I've noticed over and over again is this. It's not income that separates people, it's mindset. Because I've seen people making $50,000 build real wealth over time, and I've seen people making $150,000 still stressed every month, still worried about bills, still stuck. So in this video, I'll break down the differences in thinking, real-life money habits, and how you can start shifting your mindset today. Let's start with the biggest myth most people believe. I just need to make more money. And honestly, that sounds logical. If you have more money, life should get easier, right? But here's the problem. If you don't fix your mindset first, more money actually makes things worse. Because income doesn't solve money problems. It amplifies them. Think of money like fuel. If your habits are solid, it takes you far. But if your habits are poor, it helps you crash even faster. If you're careless with $1,000, you'll be careless with $10,000. If you spend emotionally now, you'll spend emotionally later, just on a bigger scale. And the numbers prove it. In Canada today, household debt is soaring past $3.2 trillion, a record high that shows everyday people owe enormous amounts across mortgages, consumer credit, and loans. This is one of the highest levels Canada has ever seen. To put that in perspective, Canadians now carry more debt relative to income than nearly every other advanced economy, even higher than some countries historically known for debt burdens. And yet, despite more borrowing, many Canadians are saving less. Household savings rates remain low, meaning most people keep a very small part of what they earn. So no, it's not that Canadians aren't earning. It's how that money is being managed. Now let's talk about why that happens. It comes down to one core difference: instant gratification versus delayed gratification. This is one of the biggest mindset splits. A poor mindset says, I want it now. A wealth mindset says, I can wait. And this plays out every single payday. You get paid, and in that moment, you make choices. One person spends immediately. Maybe it's food, shopping, lifestyle upgrades. Another pauses. They think. They invest first. They plan. They spend what's left. And it's not about being cheap. It's about being intentional. Because wealth is built in the gap between what you earn and what you keep. And most people never protect that gap. They increase their income and their lifestyle grows even faster, so they feel just as broke or more, no matter how much they make. Here's another difference that separates the wealthy from everyone else. Poor mindset asks, can I afford this? Wealth mindset asks, how can this make me money? That one question changes everything. Let me give you a real-life example. Two people in Canada both earn $80,000 a year. One person spends almost everything: rent, bills, groceries, lifestyle. By the end of the month, there's nothing left. The other commits to investing just 10% of their income every single month. In the beginning, it doesn't look like much, But over time, the second person starts seeing growth. Not huge at first, but consistent. Meanwhile, the first person stays in the same place financially. That's the power of asking a different question. Now let's talk about risk. This is where mindset really shows up. Poor mindset avoids risk completely. Wealth mindset understands risk and manages it. Because here's the truth. Not taking risks is actually the biggest risk of all. A lot of people are afraid to invest. They say things like, what if the market crashes? What if I lose money? But at the same time, they're okay with inflation slowly eating their savings. Canada's inflation is currently around 1.8%, but the real pinch is in essentials. Food prices alone have risen over 30% in the past 5 years, and many households are still paying significantly more for groceries year after year. That's real money leaving your pocket month after month. Groceries, utilities, transportation, housing costs. The cost of living continues pushing upward, and most Canadians expect those costs to get worse before they improve. That's risk too. It just feels invisible. Wealth mindset doesn't avoid risk, it learns how to manage it. By thinking long term, by diversifying, by staying consistent even when things get messy. Now here's another huge difference. Poor mindset focuses on today. Wealth mindset focuses on the next 10, 20, even 30 years. Because wealth isn't built in a week, or a month, or even a year. It's built through consistency over time. Someone who invests small amounts consistently will almost always beat someone trying to get rich quickly. The consistent investor stays in the game. Meanwhile, others jump between trends, look for shortcuts, chase quick results, and give up early. That's the cycle most people fall into, and that's why so many never see real progress. Because wealth isn't about speed, it's about staying power. This next one is uncomfortable, but it matters. Poor mindset blames everything: the economy, the government, their job, their situation. And to be clear, not everything is your fault. But here's the problem with blame. When everything is someone else's fault, you feel powerless and you stop trying to improve. Wealth mindset is different. It takes responsibility, not because it's easy, but because it's empowering. Because once you take responsibility, you gain control. You start learning. You start adapting. You start making smarter decisions. Blame keeps you stuck. Responsibility moves you forward. And this is where the real transformation happens. Wealth isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. A person with a wealth mindset thinks long term, makes intentional decisions, controls emotions around money. Because money is emotional, spending is emotional, fear is emotional. If you don't control those emotions, they will control your financial life. Here's the good part. You don't need to be rich to start thinking this way. You don't need a perfect job. You don't need a big salary. You just need to decide, to think differently. Because once your mindset changes, your actions follow. And once your actions change, your life begins to change too. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how you think. Start small. Pay attention to your habits. Question your spending. Think long term. Be intentional with your money. Because the goal isn't to look rich, it's to be financially free, to have options, to have control. And all that starts in your mind. I'm Sai. I'll catch you in the next one.